I just quickly wanted to go back over this just so that people get the absolute understanding of this. I showed you this other video where it says sheriffs were invented in Tyre and Sidon. Those were the capital of Phoenicia. It says truly gentlemen, and he's not saying they were gentlemen, he's addressing the people that he's writing to. It stands with reason, for I am sure that they were the first inventors of scarlet, which is purple, which we all know is what? It's the two pillars combined into one, red and blue, making that, trying to be the middle path, but being that of incorrect and absolute bullshit. But to leave this option, I do find in the Bible, however, that Joseph, who was a Jew, Hebrew, was by Pharaoh, king of Egypt, made the sheriff. So now we have a Hebrew or a Jew in charge of all of Egypt, of Grand Cairo. And Daniel, that's in the Old Testament, so was Joseph, also by Nebuchadnezzar, king of Assyria, made sheriff of Babylon. So now you got the Jews in charge of Babylon. Remember, I told you, they want ancient Babylon. They're over there right now making Americans and British wipe out fucking people, torturing fucking goat herders, going around in museums, smashing up fucking artifacts to keep people from finding information and to gather information. Okay? The towers came down because they were built to come down. That was just a recreation or a celebration of them cutting us off from the real Father. That's what all of that was. That's why those buildings felt like they were created or they were dropped in a demolition fashion, because they were. The shit was put in it when it was being built. In 1993, when the first incident happened in the basement, go look it up. They don't talk about it much. Halliburton, who was Bush's confidant friend, Cheney, got the contract, and they made the walls 10 feet thicker. Well, if you put plastiques in there, which is plastic explosive, you would be unfettered in doing it. Everybody would just think you're repairing it. That was a story of the fall of light, and that's why that stupid governor or the mayor, whatever the fuck he was of New York, kept running around going, "They're heroes, they're heroes." Heroes is Gabor, the fallen angels. It's Hebrew for the fallen angels. Do you understand how the story's coming together? So these guys were in charge. Even back then, they were in charge. The sheriff is the lawgiver. Okay, and if it's not true, they're just writing it in to make themselves look good, which could also be the case. But the bottom line is that they were already in Babylon. We know that because the not the Torah, but the Talmud, the Jewish Talmud, is 2,000 years younger than the Babylonian. You know how the Jews talk about us being animal and cattle? The Babylonians talked about the Jews like that, and then the Jews turned it around on us. So it isn't hard to figure out who's running the legal system when you look at how many lawyers there are, okay, and that the police officer is wearing a six-pointed star or a cube dressed in Saturday Night black. Who's running the show here? You don't have to be a brain to figure this shit out. Okay? And who's the ones putting out all of these fake fucking news stories? Okay? You can't stop this thing, but what you can do is you can become aware of it and you can look at the stories and fucking laugh.